So I'm laying here in bed. I was going to take a nap. I don't know what to do about school for the kids. We're coming up to the deadline where I have to make like my final decision and get them registered, whether they're going to do in-person class at school or remote learning. Here are the considerations. So with at school, the details, sorry, that's like total glare. Here's the details. They can't bring backpacks. If they're going to bring home lunch, which my kids do, then it has to be in a disposable bag. So if they bring a lunch box, like, okay, so they request that it be disposable, which, you know me, I don't like doing disposable stuff. That's just not really in line with my ethic as far as like recycling and all of that. Sorry. But if they do bring a lunchbox, which is an option, then it gets put in like a special place where normally all the lunch boxes would go together in like a tote or a tub to go back to the class. I just need to say, I understand all these precautions, okay? I absolutely understand them and support them. It's just, I'm just laying this out so you know what I'm, the considerations that I'm trying to work with. Each kid needs to bring a water bottle, which is no big deal. We have tons of them. I'm a dumpster diver. But where they're not going to have backpacks, how often are they going to lose those water bottles? So that tells me I'm going to need to do disposable water bottles, which I absolutely am not a fan of. They never get recycled. They all end up in a whale's belly somewhere in the ocean. There won't be regular drinking fountains. There's water bottle refill, those kind, which are cool. I like those. But I'm just, again, playing this out in my head. They will have to wear masks, which I totally support, but they'll have opportunities in class for wearing face shields, which I'm sure they will clean them in between, different kids using them. They will have meltdown protocol for kids that just like need a break from mask and restrictions and whatever. Sorry, it keeps like lighting up, and that's because I'm getting notifications. So they will be social distanced in their classrooms. How, I don't know, with how many kids they pack into classrooms now. And they'll also be social distanced at lunch. If you're going to be a parent volunteer, which I always am, I'm a room mom, then you need to wear masks, and that's great. I totally support that. There will be, they'll be encouraging hand washing and hand sanitizing in the classrooms, which is great. I don't know how often they'll do that, but they did say that they'll be sanitizing the school daily. So, kudos, holy cow, to the janitorial service. They've got their work cut out for them. There won't be assemblies or field trips, though they will do some like Zoom facilitated assemblies. All of this is stuff I can work with, like it. They said they're going to try to keep it as close to business as usual as they can, and they will be utilizing the school counselor to help kids, adjust to all this and whatever. And that's awesome. Here's my one thing. All of that sounds great. We can work with it. We can, figure it out. But then in this email that I got, they said that at lunch, they won't be required to wear masks, which makes sense. They're going to eat. But then they always go to recess right after lunch. And again, they're not required to wear masks. So for me, this is not a political issue. This is a safety issue. Okay. That's all this comes down to for me, is that this is an absolutely fluid situation where day to day we are finding out new information as scientists and medical professionals learn more every day about this brand new virus. And so, you know, best wisdom is changing from day to day. And I'm trying to just take all of it into account. Well, so my thought is, okay, why bother with all the precautions and the social distancing and everything throughout the day? No backpacks, whatever. And then it's, you know, Lord of the Flies, Children of the Corn out on the playground. No one's wearing masks, which I understand kids need a break. I get that. I 100% get that. Again, these are just things that I am having to consider as I'm trying to make this incredibly difficult decision that I never anticipated having to make as a mother. So they're out on the playground sneezing and slobbering and picking their noses and climbing all over everything. I mean, there's jungle gyms. You're not, you know, spraying it down after every kid that does the monkey bars. So what's the point? Does it make sense? Like, what's the point of all these precautions if on the playground it's a free-for-all? This is me thinking out loud. Thank you for indulging me and letting me think out loud. So then here's the other option. All of that said, the other option is remote learning, where it's not the teachers at school that are doing this, which I think is wonderful. There's no way that they are not paid enough to teach the kids at school and then also be doing the remote learning on top of that. That would just be insane. So there will be specific teachers that are trained through the district to be the remote learning teachers. And they'll have, they said, like 3 to 4 hours of work per student per day. I have 3 kids, so that's a pretty busy day. And a lot of it will fall, obviously, on me to facilitate all of that, you know, learning, and to make sure that there's also physical education and other extracurricular activities happening, which I'm fine with doing. But then it also comes down to they lose the social interaction, which we know is important, and we lose that time away from each other, which, like it or not, is a necessary thing. My new earbuds. And my oldest is going into high school. So a lot of this is just overwhelming and terrifying. And I only have until the end of this month, till the 30th to decide and get the kids registered. Yeah, it is such a, my husband's like, why is it even a big deal? Well, because it affects me. And my babies, but I'll be the one taking on the brunt of it, either way, you know, which is fine. That's, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I do. But it's tricky. And for the most part, my kids want to go to school. They want to go to school. And I've read the current data that we have on COVID, and they'll probably be just fine. But what will they bring home? Well, the thing is, what does my husband bring home from work? You know, so I mean, we're not safe no matter what we do, right? There's always a chance. I mean, you could walk outside and get hit by a bus. And I want to live while I'm alive. I want my kids to live while they're alive, and I want them to have some semblance of a normal childhood. I needed to think all this out. I still haven't come to a decision. Even thinking all this out and saying it out loud to you guys, I'm no closer to a decision, but it does feel good having been able to have something of a sounding board and get all this off my chest. So for that, thank you. Please tell me in the comments if you are raising kids at this time. What's your thought process? What's the situation where you live? I know in a lot of places, face-to-face learning, like in person, is not even an option. So please tell me, what's the situation where you live and how are you making this decision? And I mean,